brothers and sisters. How are you doing today? I'm your sister Cece Pruitt of PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. Join us on PQLR1 Radio 24/7, where you can hear artist music as well as scripture reading and just many other surprises, all giving glory and praises to the Most High Yah. So today is no different. On the radio, we have our wonderful sister Ashley here, and she is a children's author. And we want to make sure that we support her. So welcome, Ashley. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you doing today?
Now let's give you some hand claps. Okay, so why don't you let us know before we get into the book details, how has the word of Yah changed your life? Did you come from Christianity or where did
I
you?
did. Yeah,
Okay.
I literally grew up in the church.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I was shortly after I was born, my parents started going to church. And so a little baby, I'm in church, every Sunday, 2 times a week. So I'm come from a Christian home.
Okay.
And just all my life, just always in church, always been the Christian girl in school. And
Okay.
so
The good
yeah.
girl with the glasses in the books. That was you.
Yeah. I
Okay.
was the good girl.
That was me too. I don't know how good I was, but yeah, that was me too. Okay. So, how has this walk changed your life? Because we know Christianity, there's like certain things that we did and certain things that we still didn't know, but now in this walk, we know, we know some different things. So, how has this walk changed your life?
Yeah, it just changed, basically our identity. It changes, what we believe in everything. But in church, I had questions myself, like some things that I just didn't understand, but because, it's church, they just kind of brushed it off. So coming into this walk, it allowed me to know who I am, who the Most High is to me,
Mhm.
and just understanding, basically, we're his children. And so he wants us to, abide by his statutes, abide by his laws.
Mhm.
So we need to live our lives that reflect him. So
Mhm.
in church, we're thinking, just go to church and praise God and sing and worship.
Mhm.
But there was more that we were missing from church. And so understanding who we are as a people and understanding that the Old Testament, it still applies today. So
Mhm.
just getting back to the root of who we are and what he wants from us,
Mhm.
and it's helping us live our lives according to his word.
Exactly. So now you moved on to what we believe now as, quote, the truth. Of course, there's more truth to be discovered. I mean, so much more. Did you change as a result of your parents learning something, or did you kind of move on and your family's still in Christianity?
So I think okay, so being in this truth, you'll make sense now, but like in church, we were set apart.
Yeah.
So we were in church, but we were kind of different.
Okay.
So I think these questions that we had in church,
Mhm.
and then slowly, basically it started with my dad having a dream,
Okay.
and the Most High showed him the tree of life,
Mhm.
the constellation in the sky.
Okay.
And long story short, that led him to a Messianic congregation.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
so at that time we were still in church, but he was kind of learning about how they do things.
Mhm.
So later on, it wasn't until like when the Most High kept revealing things to us that we were okay, well, we're the people, it's not necessarily them, but
Right.
we're the beings that, the Bible talks about.
We're not these
So
Gentiles.
mhm.
Okay.
And because we were set apart in the church, it wasn't really too hard for us to like jump on it. So
Okay.
it kind of made sense to us, like, oh, okay, well, that's why in church
Mhm.
this didn't make sense. So
Mhm.
it's an easy transition, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what? I've interviewed a few people, and that's what they said. Like the questions that they had in church, they weren't getting their questions answered, or they were snubbed, or just basically told to sit down. Like you're not allowed to have any questions. You just need to conform and get in order.
Yeah. And actually my dad, he was put on a sabbatical
Mm,
because he had asked, some questions.
they put a
So
grown man on a sabbatical. Wow.
Yeah, so we dealt with a lot in church. So that's why it kind of made sense, when we found out the truth. Like, oh well, that's why. So,
Right. Yeah. And it's like a,
mhm.
I mean, for lack of a better word, it's like a good old boys club. It's like a cult. It's like a thing, like, only certain people can come in, and you're not coming in if you're not going to conform. Uh, if you're going to be going against the grain, you're not going to come in. You're not going to be a part of what we're doing here because it's to fleece the
Hmm.
flock. And if you're not down with fleecing the flock, well, doggone it, you will remain flock.
Yeah.
Well, praise Yah that your dad had the mindfulness to listen to Yah from what he was receiving from the stars. That's great.
Hmm.
Now you're here. Okay,
Yeah.
well, fast forward. So, um, when you moved on, did you notice that the gifts that you had began to expand because now you have all this truth that's coming upon you? Did you just start getting new ideas?
I did, and that's what actually inspired one of my first book that I just published. But
Mhm,
yeah, so because this whole, this new walk, it's
mhm.
like, okay, well, we need to get back to gardening, get back to growing our own foods, and get back to homeschooling, get off the system.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, well, I'm working 9 to 5,
Mm,
Monday to Friday.
mhm,
So I don't want to work that. I want to be my own boss. And so that also kind of inspired me to, okay, I need to stop working for the man,
mhm,
do something that I love,
mhm.
and make it to a business. That way I'm not having to report to work every day. So
Right.
that's what initially kind of made that push to. I mean, I've always loved writing. I've always loved writing,
Okay.
but I didn't make a job out of it. I
Hmm.
just kind of did as a hobby.
Yeah. And you like journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration from to write? Like, where are you usually when you draw a lot of inspiration for writing?
Um, it kind of just comes to me. Sometimes I could just be, laying down.
Hmm.
I've always had imagination as a child. I could always like come up with stories in my mind, just random stories.
Okay.
So it's just, I guess it's just y'all given,
Okay.
and sometimes if I'm stuck, I'll just go outside or
Mm.
watch some TV, kind of some little nuggets to help me
Hmm.
spark an idea.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Like, I had interviewed a sister a little while ago, today actually, and she sings, but she draws a lot of inspiration when she's running.
Hmm.
So she runs, and that's because she's isolated. It's just her and Yah. She's got to
Right.
depend on Yah for the breath in her body and her legs moving and all that. I
Hmm.
thought it was like amazing how, she said that, some people say they go for a walk or sit on a rock or in the shower or whatever. So, I mean, you literally can just be anywhere, I guess, and you just can get inspiration.
Hmm.
That's
The
amazing.
only problem with that I have is just the distractions because we
Yeah.
have TV, phones.
Hmm.
So I mean, there are times where I want to just focus, but then I have like, okay, TV, oh, phone, so just that's kind of the hard thing about living today. There's so many distractions.
Yeah. And, you almost have to really be super mindful to turn them off.
Hmm.
Because you have to say, okay, well, these things are not important. I will get back to these things. That means I'm going to turn my phone off. You
Yeah.
and if I turn on this TV, I know that I'm not going to get anything done. So I'm not going to turn it on. Therefore, here I am with my pad and my paper, and let me go to work.
Hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. So, with writing children's books, um, how is that your forte versus, adult novels or whatever? Like, what is it that draws you to creating children's books?
So I had mentioned that I always loved writing. But what made me kind of geared towards children is because I so my brand that I made up is Awakened Imaginations.
Okay.
So the reason why I chose that is because seeing children these days so consumed with devices. They're
Okay.
not playing outside. They're not, you know, um, doing what we used to do as a child.
Using their imagination.
They're just consumed with their devices. And so I want children to get back to the books.
Hmm.
And in my books, I want to either teach a life skill
Hmm.
or teach some kind of a lesson.
Hmm.
So basically like they're my passion. So I want to um just bring our children back to the books, bring them back to, the root of everything.
Okay, so is this the book here, The Little Shepherd and the Lost? The Lost.
This will be coming out later on this month.
Okay.
So this is a parallel story to the parable of our Messiah and the lost sheep,
Okay.
how he had said, when one sheep goes missing, you leave the 99 and go for the one. So like
Okay.
a parallel for that story.
Okay. Let's see. Where can I find the actual? Let's see. The actual one that's out now. How do I find
Uh, I'll go all the way down. It's probably the first. Well, matter of fact, just go to my website because that was probably the easiest.
it? Okay. Let's go to your website right here.
And then go to books, and then it will be the one that's displayed.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. The Son's Redemption.
Yes.
All right. So talk to us about the Son's Redemption.
So this book is actually inspired from this awakening. So I don't want to give out too many details, but basically, a king has two sons named Israel and Judah,
Okay.
and the king gave the two boys instructions
Hmm.
um, of what to do, what not to do, and
Hmm.
basically the two sons disobeyed, and
Mm.
because of that, they there was a consequence, and it parallels to what we're going through now as a people. So
Okay.
I wanted to write a story that displays, our disobedience in a
Hmm.
way that children could understand and see through a story.
Totally makes sense. And I see that you have um, great depictions of brown skinned people, which is
Hmm.
great. That's wonderful. Okay. And then who would you say? Well, I'm sure this is geared toward all children, but as far as
Of
like,
course.
is it an easy read for young readers, or would it be children that are maybe like 8 years old?
Yes, so my target audience is from like 4 to 8, so around
Okay.
that from that age range.
Okay. 4 to 8, that age range. Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay. That looks really good. Now, if they want to purchase this book, they can do so by going to the website.
Yes.
Okay. Now, is it just the website or is it on Amazon too?
It's also on Amazon. So with
Okay.
this first book, I used a traditional publisher, and
Okay.
so they had posted it on Amazon.
Okay.
But you could also purchase it on my website as well.
Okay. But you're going to get more of the benefit if they purchase from your website, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's tell them to go to author Ashley, which is Ashley Irvin, Irvin, authorashleyirvin.com, and then go to books and you can see the Son's Redemption is right there for purchase. Perfect. All right. And then the next book that's coming up is
The Little Shepherd and the Lost Sheep.
The Little Shepherd and where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Okay. I lost it. Where did little, oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Little Shepherd and the Lost Sheep. And that's coming out mid-December. Okay. We're almost mid-December now already. All right. So that one is going to be ready to go and they can purchase that from the website as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is there going to be an audio version? Have you done any of that yet?
I have not, but I do plan on it. I've worked with Brother Craig on Wani Radio. And
Okay.
so he said he'll do, help me with some advertisement. And
Mhm.
then I also have a couple of people on YouTube who'll do like a reading, like a read out loud version of my book.
Mhm.
So, but I do want to do an audio, some kind of audio version.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. Wonderful. And then have you made a digital version?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. Well, those things are coming. Wonderful. Well, we are excited to, we'll purchase it this weekend. I can tell you that. We're excited to um, amplify what it is that you're doing. Now, what about animation? Are you having any plans to make like cartoons that can go up on YouTube?
Yes. I
Okay.
have so many ideas. Like it's
Okay. It's like, lady, you're not telling me nothing. I'm doing that. Yes, I'm thinking about. Yeah, I could see that too because
Mhm.
it's just such wonderful graphics. I got to tell you, I really that's what I told you. That's what attracted me to this. But I'm glad that you are um, making. I don't want to say stories because we don't say stories here. We say accounts. You're making accounts for the children to be able to understand at their level
Mhm.
versus being lost and confused. So that's wonderful. We are excited about that. Well, we will make sure that we make purchases. So if people want to reach out to you, why don't you let them know how they can contact you?
Yeah, so they could either find me on Facebook, author Ashley Irvin,
Mhm,
or just go to my website, authorashleyirvin.com, and then subscribe to my newsletter.
mhm.
And then any kind of updates or releases, I'll definitely send emails out to everyone, letting them know the information.
Okay, well, I definitely signed up as well because I'm excited about what it is that you're doing. I'm looking to see the stuffed toys and just all the different things that I know you probably have in production. That is so great. Well, do you have any last words for the people? Because I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, just like my goal is to just get our children reading again,
Hmm.
get them off these devices. I
Hmm.
know it's impossible for, take away phones and laptops and TVs,
Hmm.
but I want to make reading fun again. And a way that I'm doing that is I have another series of books coming out
Okay.
early next year. It's a detective series.
Oh,
And each one of those books will have like a thumbprint,
oh,
and in the thumbprint would be a code.
okay.
So then they'll use that code, go to my website, and it will unlock all kinds of activities, fun activities, match games, word finds, all kind of like, interactive games
Wow.
for children to play. So I want my books to be fun and educational.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I mean, I could even see you like doing your own private book fair at like churches
Mhm.
or I mean, some people don't believe in going to churches, but you know what? Uh, I would take this to churches so that, the children's church could just, get the children involved. And then even some private schools might allow it as well. So that sounds
Mhm.
really, really good. Wow, I'm excited about that. So we will definitely make sure to stay in contact with you when you have new things coming available. Please reach out to us because we want to get you on again so that we can talk about these things. And yeah, we want to make sure we read our scripture, which is Philippians 4:8, which is finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Sister Cece. This is PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first.